It's your daily dose of Donna. We have made it to Friday, May 2nd. And what a Friday today is. It is a Friday that we have needed more than anything because we need a break from Narcissist Central. I am so sick of the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds media tour. I feel like I need a vacation from their narcissism and from their in my faceism. If you are feeling gaslit by Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, you have come to the right place. You guys, this is out of control. We need to do something. We are starting a petition. You know how you can put keywords? Oh my gosh, I just realized I have my makeup on my shirt. How could you not tell me such a thing? I have to go naked now. I'm going to change during my commercial break. I don't have a commercial break, but I'm going to change at some point. Do you know that you can put like keyword blocking on your show, like on your comments? You can put keyword blocks. I'm going to put just blocks, like life blocks on Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. I went to bed last night saying, not bed, but like I was on my phone last night, just like scrolling the internet, the World Wide Web. And I said, tomorrow's episode of Daily Dose of Donna is going to be a very special episode of Highly Triggered Daily Dose of Donna. Between Jen McCabe and between Blake Lively, I think today's episode should be called, I Got a Case of the Liabilities. You know what? I don't have a case of the liabilities. Jen McCabe, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, all these mofos, they all have a case of the liabilities. We need to get ourselves stock in whatever drug they give for liabilities because that shit is going off the roof. It's flying off the shelves is what they say. We are all buying whatever they're selling for liabilities because those two, they have a real serious case of liabilities. I'm worried. I've never seen two people lie so strongly. They're lying so strongly. And you know what the worst part about it is? Half the world is believing the shit that they're selling. I'm concerned. Come with me, you guys. Come with me because we all need to enjoy today's Friday. We need to get through this together. We can get through hard things, okay? You can do hard things. We can do this together. Everyone, dance break. It's your daily dose of Donna. By popular demand, everyone's asking about my headbands. Well, I did go and buy a bunch of new headbands. You're going to die where I bought my headbands. You're going to be like, what? That's not possible. I bought my headbands at World Market. World Market, my favorite store of all time. World Market, which is the store that I go to get all my candy. You know World Market, right? Everyone has a World Market, and like I feel like they're all over the country. And they also have a website. And this is not sponsored, obviously. I wish. But you can buy home goods. You can buy wines from around the world, drinks from around the world, food from around the world. Most importantly, candy from around the world. They have Swedish candy. It's not the best selection, but they do have candy and chocolate and like food from around the world. You can buy like candles. You can buy picture frames and all that stuff, glasses, furnishings, kitchenware. But they also have like some cute little earrings and headbands and clothing. I love it. Now, I am old school because I remember it when it used to be called Cost Plus World Market. Do you guys remember that? It used to be called Cost Plus. What happened to Cost Plus? Is it still called Cost Plus? I loved it. I loved Cost Plus, but I also really, really enjoy, I enjoy Cost Plus. I enjoy World Market because I am someone that really, really likes flavors from all different regions around the world. In fact, if you guys are like me, you've gotten inundated, just like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, you've gotten oversaturated and inundated with the Dubai chocolate craze. That's all I see in my feed. I see Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Karen Reed, and Dubai chocolate. Like that's all I see. So every time I see it on TikTok, if you don't know what I'm talking about, Dubai chocolate is like a huge craze. So it's got this kanafe is what it's called. It's like toasted phyllo dough, shredded phyllo dough, I think. It's very big. You can buy it in Israeli markets. You can buy it in Middle Eastern markets, Persian markets. It's very big in the Middle East. And what you can do is you toast it up. Then you take a pistachio butter, you mix it together, and then you can put it into chocolate and you can bake with it. You can do whatever. But the problem is at the TikTok shop, it's also expensive. It's like $18 for one bar plus $9.99 shipping. I'm like, F this. The problem is on TikTok, you click on it once in the TikTok shop, forget it. You're being served every single video is a Dubai chocolate bar. I'm like, I live in Los Angeles. I can buy this shit everywhere and make it my own. So that's why I went to World Market because I wanted to buy the ingredients. Couldn't find them there. So I ended up going to an Israeli market and I found all the ingredients. So now I have a project. I'm going to make Dubai chocolate on my own this weekend. I'm very excited about it. Okay. But that's like neither here nor there. You're not here for Dubai chocolate. You're here to talk shit about Blake Lively. And if you are, you're in the right place because I'm highly triggered. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people that have come into my DMs this morning and said, Donna, I love you very much, but I don't think I can watch this episode. And I said, why? And they said, because I think this took it too far with Blake Lively. Seeing her talk on Seth Meyers last night was too far. And you know what? I kind of get it because I haven't actually watched the interview. That's how much she upsets me. This doubling down, the taking everything that she has done up until now, where are we? May 2nd. So now we're officially almost 5 months, right? Yeah, now at the middle of this month will be 5 months, okay? Oh my God, Elizabeth, you live in Gurnee? I'm sorry. Randomly, I see someone's comment that says that she lives in Gurnee. I know Gurnee so well. I love Gurnee. Sorry. Okay, that's a whole side story. Okay, Gurnee, north of Chicago. I have a whole story okay, back to the story. So the problem about Blake is that 5 months now into this story, I would think that with all of the evidence and all of the stuff that has come out, I would think that she would slowly start to say, shit, I'm going to start to maybe hush up about it. Tell Seth, okay, I will do your show, but I'm not going to talk about it. Let's literally not touch it. Obviously, Ryan Reynolds was kind of like making a joke about it on SNL. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to go onto it. I don't, whatever. However, the problem here is that Blake is not only touching on it, she is actually doubling down on it. Not only is she saying, yeah, unfortunately, we're in the middle of a lawsuit, so I can't really talk about it. Like, pull a Karen, what's her name? Karen from Real Housewives of Potomac. Now I can't remember her name, Karen that went to jail. Pull a Karen and say, listen, I can't talk about it. We're in the middle of a lawsuit. Do that. Do not, my love, do not double down into I am the savior of all women and I am making the world a safer place. This is too much. We are not stupid. However, this is the worst part. Unfortunately, you guys, most people will fall for it. Most people will fall for it. I'm going to force us to watch a little bit of the interview because I haven't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you guys. You know, they say trigger warnings when it comes to watching violent content, when it comes to watching anything that like has to do with like major drugs, alcohol, whatever. I'm going to give you a trigger warning about watching content that's going to make you feel very, very angry. This is going to enrage you. This is going to upset you. Seth Meyers has, or I should say, Blake Lively has something on Seth Meyers. I don't know what's going on there. I don't understand the relationship. I don't understand why he felt the need to have her on the show. Well, look, let's be real. He got something out of it. He got something out of it, and I'm sure was very happy to have Blake on his show because he probably got a lot of numbers, but he did have to turn off his YouTube comments because people were very, very upset with him for allowing to platform this. She came on in her white dress. She came on in her beautiful, gorgeous, beautiful hair. Listen, Blake Lively is a very pretty person. She's not pretty inside, but I think she's a pretty person. And it fucks with your head. I'm not going to lie. It messes with your head when someone is pretty and someone is presenting well. But I will always go back to this. You will have to go back to the basics, you guys. You always have to remember the basics. You have to remember the basics. Her best friend, her children's godmother, her best friend is not publicly standing by her. Never forget that her best friend and her children's godmother is not standing by her. This is more evidence than anything else we need to see. So whatever the bullshit is that she's portraying, whatever she is trying to say, whatever she's trying to, come across as, just remember who is standing by her and who is not. And the fact that the only people that are publicly stating their allegiance to her are the ones that were really loud in the very beginning before Justin Baldoni presented receipts, and people that are hired by her basically, and people that are in some sort of cahoots with her by the agencies and the business connections. But her true bestie, the one that was actually connected to her children, is not standing by her. That is incredibly telling. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that part. So for just a moment, we have to watch it. And I'm sorry to do this, but I'm doing it for me because I can't watch it alone. I can't watch it alone. Yes, those who financially benefit from staying by her are staying there. That's it. Now, I have a couple videos to show you. We're not going to do this for a long time. Everyone, you guys grab your clitoral. Oh, and by the way, Seth Meyers, I used to really like him. I used to really like him back on like the on the what's it called? On the SNL. How old am I? I used to like him on the SNL. I used to like him on SNL, and now I can't. I mean, look at that face. That's the face that you make when you are like being held hostage. Truthfully. I think he is. I think he's being held hostage. Okay, I can't watch the entire thing, but let's watch just a moment of when I can't watch her sit down and like play nice.
Refrigerator, it was like the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, no, but like the crushed ice.
Oh, shut up about crushed
How
ice.
are you kids? How is your
They're
family?
good, thank you.
You
don't
have
want to
4.
talk about the ice business in Frozen? It's such a weird song at the beginning of Frozen. We are built. No, I'm
Oh.
ice. Okay, no, wait,
It is actually. I
Shut
forgot
up.
when you said, I was assuming Let It Go. You forget there's other songs there, but you're right. The beginning is a lot
We Are
about
Building
making
ice
ice.
song.
Yeah,
What?
you're right. It's a
It's
weird opener. And
the
you know
theme
what? I don't
song.
think that movie's
Distraction.
The love of his life at all times, which is like just the best feeling.
talking
in the
about
world.
her
So this is,
son.
like,
Really
everything I
nice
do,
feeling. Yeah.
I get dressed every day like a girl in middle school, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope he thinks so. Like, I hope he says something.
Do your daughters ever criticize your outfits?
Oh yeah. No, one of my daughters has the same birthday as Napoleon and Jennifer Lawrence. So if you imagine like those two blended.
Is that how it works? Is that how birthdays work? You blend?
I think so. I don't know. Because like I don't know a lot about star signs. I heard someone said the other day that if your son texts you and says like, "Mom, I'm on a date. She's asking my star sign. What should I say?" And the mom texts back, "Run." So
I really want someone here in the comments to be like a really big person into star signs and be fucking pissed off because she just offended everyone that is into astrology. I want Ali Luber to come on out. I want Ali Luber to come out with a response video to tear her ass apart. Someone who's the biggest astrologer in the history? I hope that there's an astrologer that has been the biggest Blake Lively supporter ever. Do we know if there's a huge astrologer out there that has loved her and has supported her? I wish more than anything that annoying Dr. Leslie is the biggest astrologer and has been so obsessed with star signs, because then she'd be like, shit, because I have something to say about that Dr. Leslie. Now I'm calling her out. I'm pissed over a video she posted last night. Breathe. Next.
Very good.
So,
Yeah.
now I'm afraid, like, no matter what day I'm having, I have to be Disneyland every day for them. And so it's like, it's the best. I mean, it's chaos, but
That reminds me about Disneyland. I want to tell you a little story I got about her from an agent that I spoke to. Apparently, Blake Lively grew up at Disneyland. This is not a joke. I'm not making this up. Apparently, Blake Lively, when she was a kid, because she grew up in the industry and she grew up here in LA, when she was a kid, and all her older brothers and sisters, I think her brother is younger. Is her brother older than her? Now I can't remember. All of her siblings are actors. So there weren't like real rules and like a routine and schedule in her family. Apparently, Blake Lively was 1000% like raised at Disneyland. She was like a Disney child. So the interesting thing that she uses, this whole idea of like, I have to be Disneyland for my kids. Interesting. You wonder if a kid is spoiled and grows up to be spoiled if you're, raised at Disneyland. Do you think she had any rules growing up? Not one, not ever.
it's yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Also, what do you think Jennifer Lawrence thinks about this whole like being thrown in there? She got like thrown some stray bullets over there.
Mentioned you had an intense year. I'm maybe not as totally informed about it as other people.
So then why are you fucking doing this interview, Seth Meyers? What is this face? Sorry. I don't think I'm informed as other people. Is he doing Thriller? Thriller night. I'm sorry. I'm just so over them. I'm over all of them.
I'm
But
thrilled
if-
you're not doing Weekend Update right now, because you would be quite informed. So
Okay.
it's good. Yeah.
Rehearsed.
But were I to ask you about it, I imagine you're in a situation where you can't say much.
Yeah, I mean, what I can say without going too into it is that
Rehearsed.
this year has been full of the highest highs and the lowest lows of my life, and I see
Her stutters are rehearsed. You guys, I'm telling you this right now. Her stutters are rehearsed. I'm telling you that everything is so on point. It is an acting monologue. Everything she is doing is incredibly coached, incredibly rehearsed. This is not like off the top of her head moments. This is like she has been working with an acting coach for days for this answer.
so many women around afraid to speak, especially right now, afraid to share their experiences, and fear is by design. It's what keeps us silent. But I also acknowledge that many people don't have the opportunity to speak. So I do feel fortunate that I've been able to. And it's the women who have had the ability to use their voice that's kept me strong. And
Why isn't she looking up? Why is she looking down throughout this entire conversation? Anyone think that's weird?
helped me in my belief and my fight for the world to be safer for women and girls. It's a pretty simple thing, but nothing. Thank you.
I am.
Thank you.
I'm certainly going to respect that you're in a
Thanks.
position we can't talk about it more. And I obviously, I think a lot of people hoped we would talk about it more, but I think we gave them that crushed ice thing. and
Yeah,
that's
no,
more than
no.
gonna
I
make
think
up
that's
for
what
it.
I think Seth Meyers and Ryan Reynolds went to the same school of shitty comedy. I'm telling you, she's looking down. Thanks. Thanks. I guarantee you, they went through every single person's social media that is sitting in that audience. There is not one person in that audience that wasn't vetted to make sure that they are a fan of Blake Lively. And apparently, we have a new fan of Blake Lively in the waiting room here in the green room, because I have someone, I flew him in specially from all the film festivals. He's been going around to all of the film festivals. He's been following the Another Simple Favor premieres. He's a big fan of the movie. Allegedly, he went to go see the movie, and I got a text message this morning, and he said, Donna, I saw Another Simple Favor and I liked it. And I said, we can no longer be friends. We are never, ever getting back together. There is now bad blood. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Zack Peter.
Hi.
What?
I watched Another Simple Favor this morning and I didn't hate it. It actually was enjoyable.
Zack? I don't know if this is going to work.
This is like when we were fighting at the beginning. Remember when you were like, I'm Blake Lively. I'm Team Blake. I believe #believe Blake. Blake Lives Matter. And I was just like, Donna, no, she's lying in the New York Times article.
Zacky, I like believing women. Believe it or not, I like women. You don't, but I do.
Listen, I watched the movie. And so here's my hot take. And I know.
Tell us everything. Tell us now.
I'll tell you everything. But so I think had the lawsuit not happened, people would have watched the movie, they would have liked it, and Blake would have won the public over again with this press tour, with the movie. Like, I think people would have enjoyed the movie without looking at it through the lens of what a terrible person we see her as of now. Right. I think if she had just let all of the bad press from It Ends With Us kind of fall, because it was mainly people thinking that she was tone deaf and out of touch, and the movie was about DV and she didn't talk about DV. But like, fast forward, this isn't a movie about DV. It's a fun, campy murder mystery movie. Right. And it's actually a very fun. I mean, it goes a little wackadoodle wild for me in a few parts. I'm calling it the White Lotus season 3 on crack, because you have like, so do you want me to give you spoilers?
Do I have to watch the first one? Do you need to watch the first to watch the second? Because that means I have to do my research. I have to go back.
No. So the first one, I can recap it for you in like 15 seconds. So the first one is.
Well, that's the sign of a good movie.
Well, okay, let me try to recap it for you in 15 seconds. So the first movie is about this mommy blogger, Anna Kendrick, and she ends up
Mommy blogger or mommy sleuth? There is a difference.
Well, she was a mommy blogger that became a mommy sleuth. She would do like, hey guys, school lunch, like stuff, like stupid stuff like that. And so she met Blake Lively because their kids went to school together, and she ended up like babysitting for Blake Lively and like doing things for her, like little errands of taking care of her kid. Blake Lively ends up faking her death. And then this is where Anna Kendrick becomes the mommy sleuth, because then she's like, wait a minute, did she really die? Or like, what, something about this story doesn't add up. So she goes on this investigation, finds out Blake Lively faked her death, and then ends up working to take down Blake Lively and gets her thrown in prison. So that's how the movie ends. And then Anna Kendrick also ends up sleeping with Blake Lively's husband, who's Henry Golding, the Asian guy from Crazy Rich Asians.
That's the grabbing by the nuts.
So
that's
he's
the
grieving.
One that she grabbed. Please be clear. That's the one she grabbed by the nuts without asking permission.
And then Paul wanted her to grab harder, and she did. And so
he also would like her to probably grab his nuts as well.
So
because Paula Feig is beyond.
So, well, hold on. We'll get into the Paul Feig in a minute, because all the things that he's saying, I'm like, oh, your movie doesn't check out with all the crap that you've been telling us.
Oh, I can't wait for that.
So that's the first movie. For anyone that didn't see it, Anna Kendrick takes down Blake Lively, gets her thrown in prison for faking her death. So now the second movie is Blake Lively's out of prison, and Anna Kendrick became a mommy sleuth, has a really popular YouTube called Daily Dose of Stephanie, and not really.
Wait, is this about me?
If I go missing, I'll be the Blake Lively. So she ends up writing a book about it, and the book is based off of Blake Lively and helping how she got her locked up in prison. And so now her YouTube channel has become focused on solving crimes out in the real world. She's like the new Nancy Grace. And so Blake Lively
is the Nancy Grace or Anna?
No, Anna Kendrick.
Okay.
She's like taking down she's helping How to Find a Predator is basically who she becomes, but on YouTube. So Blake Lively shows up to her book signing, and she's just like, hi. And Anna Kendrick's like, what, did you break out of prison? And she's just like, no, I got some good lawyers and they helped me get out, and I'm on appeal. And so she's on appeal for legal reasons. And so she ends up coming to Anna Kendrick and she's like, I'm getting married. You have to come to my wedding in Italy. And Anna Kendrick's like, you're crazy. And she's like, well, if you don't, then I'm going to sue you into oblivion. And she literally says that in the movie, I'm going to sue you into oblivion, which is obviously a direct snub at
Who says that
Baldoni
other
and
than Brian Friedman? No one has
Exactly.
ever said those words other than Brian on Megyn Kelly.
Well, and she also said it like with her back turned, so you could tell it was a voiceover that was added in afterwards.
In
And you
ADR.
don't see her actually say the words. You can tell like it was a soundbite that they recorded and then edited in post production.
Lance has told me what that's called.
What?
Frankenbites.
Frankenbites, yeah.
Mhm.
I learned that from the Kardashians, from Khloe Kardashian.
Oh,
'Cause
I'm
that's-
sorry. I guess I only learned things like that from my husband, but you learned them from Chloe.
Well, because that's what they do on reality TV all the time. They do Frankenbites.
Yeah, a lot of reality shows do that. And
That's
then
what Up
some
and Adam
reality
said.
stars get really mad at that, but that's kind of like you sign your life away when you do a show that they can do
Well,
that to you.
And at the end of the season, they usually have them come into a voiceover and read a bunch of different lines. You never know how they're going to use them. That's what Up and Adam said that they did when on the Whitney Rose phone call. He said it was all Frankenbites, or it was Frankenbite editing.
Oh,
And
Alibaba?
so she goes to Italy and because she ends up getting blackmailed because, spoiler from the first movie, Anna Kendrick ends up sleeping with her brother. And it's like a weird twisted story that was like them growing up. Anna Kendrick slept with her brother. So Blake Lively's like using that as blackmail and whatever. So she goes to Italy and Blake Lively's going to marry Michelle Maroney. And so cut to the story. Long story short. Oh, so how Blake Lively faked her death in the first movie is she was born a triplet. And so one of the babies died at birth, and then there were only two of them. So nobody really knew about the twin because she had a fake identity. So she killed her twin and made it seem like it was her death. So she faked her own death by killing her twin. Well, now we find out in the third movie that the triplet actually survived and has been in hiding this entire time because her aunt kidnapped the triplet, and the aunt told her sister that the third baby died, but she really stole the baby and she's had her in secret this entire time. So now
What in the Parent Trap shit is this? This is horrible.
hold on, it gets even more crazy. We find out that she was able to get out of prison because Michelle Maroney used his money, so he's part of the Italian mob. And so he used his money to get her out of prison so that they could get married. And everyone's like, this is weird. Like they fell in love, only to find out Michelle Maroney is gay in the movie. And he's having a secret love affair since he's in the Italian mob. He's having a secret love affair with one of the other guys in the opposing gang.
So
And
it's based on Ryan Reynolds.
Well, that's what people are saying. So she marries Michelle Maroney to be his beard because she's one of the only people that's known that he was gay because they, I guess, met each other years ago and became friends in Rome. And so she acted like his beard back then. And so she would pretend to go out with him and then take him to the bathroom and make it seem like they were hooking up, but she really had his lover in the bathroom and he would hook up with his lover and she would just pretend that he was her boyfriend when that wasn't the case because he was gay. So it's all very twisted. So Michelle Maroney's gay, Blake Lively's his beard. They get married in this arrangement. He helps her get out of prison, but then the plot goes crazy because the third twin, her name is Charity. We find out Charity's alive and Charity's coming and she's killing everybody because she wants to get close to Blake Lively because that's her sister. And she never got a chance to know her sister because she thought that her sisters didn't want her. And in reality, she never just got a chance to meet her sisters.
Zach, you literally did the best job at making all 1,000 people watching this live chat never want to watch this movie. Not one of us will go see this movie now.
That's not even the craziest part. So
there's more.
This is why I compare it to the White Lotus, and you'll know why White Lotus was so controversial in this third season, right? Because of the two brothers.
Incest.
So Charity kidnaps Blake Lively, the triplet. She kidnaps Blake Lively and she's drugging her. And then she's like, then there's this weird scene where she has her drugged up in bed and Blake's like, what's going on? And then she's just like, I just want to make you feel good. I just want to take care of you.
Stop it now.
And so Blake Lively is in the bed and then Charity comes and Charity like puts her hands down her pants and like it
she
is
masturbates herself.
Her sister.
But it's herself.
Yes, but it's herself. Yeah. Well, she's technically in a drugged out daze. And so that then that then kind of becomes the joke because Blake Lively was always trolling Anna Kendrick's character for sleeping with her brother accidentally, or like her stepbrother or something, back when she was like in college or something. It was like an old, like they had hooked up, and I think they were either step siblings or they didn't know they were related. Whereas in this case,
Robin goes, Piper, no.
Piper, no, yeah,
This is too much.
it
I
was
am
very much.
I am protesting this movie now. I don't want to see that.
It's wild.
Sexual assault becomes the joke. How ironic.
Incest sexual assault.
ISA. LOL.
It was just wackadoo. Okay, there's only one good scene that's just like a
Wait,
very
what do you
good
mean? This morning, I'm going to pull up our text like in a court case.
No, I
You said
enjoyed
I like the movie.
It was a good, I mean, like I said, the end of it got a little wackadoodle, like the two Romeos. It's the forbidden love because they're from the two different gangs, but they're secretly gay lovers doing butt sex, and Blake Lively's helping them do butt sex while she's getting, fingered by her triplet sister. It's all very
Fingered
strange.
by her triplet sister is too much for my brain. I am a pretty loosey-goosey person. That's too much.
But wait, there is a great scene with Henry Golding.
Are nuts involved?
What?
Are testicles involved?
Everything. So he's completely naked in the shower scene.
Of course you like it. Of course you like it.
Well, because he looks incredible. So it starts off because he's jerking himself off because obviously he doesn't have a brother.
Stop it. What?
He doesn't have a brother. So he's jerking himself off to Anna Kendrick, and her name is Stephanie, and he's like, oh, Stephanie. But he like can't get off because he's drunk, and he's like become a drunk because his life is turned upside down after
gay?
Blake Lively. No, Henry Golding's not gay. Michelle Maroney's gay.
Okay.
Henry Golding is the ex-husband. Michelle Maroney is the new husband that she gets married to, who ends up dying, who gets killed. Actually, both of her husbands get killed by her triplet. So the triplet goes and kills her ex-husband and her current husband and then fingers her while she's drugged out.
Wait, this is a joke, right? You're making that part up.
No. So he's in the shower and he's jerking off to Anna Kendrick's character. And the next thing you know, somebody comes in and kills him when he's in the shower. But the reason it's so hot is because you see everything. Like he's fully naked. He even turns to the front of the camera. You don't see his balls because obviously Blake Lively crushed them in the first movie. But like with the shadowing, like you can't see the balls or the dick, but like you see his ass. You see like he has a very nice butt and a very nice body. It's great.
So that's why you like the movie, because you appreciate his body.
I mean, the movie itself was entertaining. And I will say this, Blake Lively, as much as people want to say she's a bad actress, I will agree with that. But in this movie, she did a really good job. And I think it is because she is very true to character in it. I thought her performance was actually really good in comparison to some of the other actors that I thought were bad, and some of it was kind of a little wackadoodle. But I thought that it was an entertaining movie, as crazy and wackadoodle as it was. I was thoroughly entertained, even with all the twists and turns.
Okay. I will give you this. She does a really good job at finger banging herself, maybe.
Yeah.
She's had to, because when she's been so emotionally distressed this last year, all you have is self-pleasure. And Ryan Reynolds has been off, canoodling with Hugh Jackman, doing Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, that's what people are saying, that it's like art imitates life, because they believe that Blake Lively's Ryan Reynolds' beard and that he's off with Hugh Jackman the same way Michelle Maroney was off with the other dude from the other gang. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay, this movie, I'm going to be honest. The movie sounds ridiculous. The problem with this is that the world, America, audiences, we like stupid a lot.
Well, it's like a telenovela, right? Like you're going to get hooked on it because it's just like, it's entertaining. And so the movie was entertaining. I did enjoy it from the entertainment factor. And I think had Blake Lively not launched this lawsuit and turned everybody against her, I think people would have watched the movie and enjoyed it. Without the lens of hating
but
Blake
do we
Lively.
know the facts about intimacy coordinators and stuff in this movie? Do we have any information on that?
How do you intimacy coordinate getting fingered by your sister?
Was there any making out scenes between her and anyone?
Her and her sister.
Other than?
They kissed, and obviously her husband.
So between her and McCabe.
She kisses, I think that at one point she kisses Anna Kendrick as well.
Okay, so there has to be an intimacy coordinator on the set.
Yeah. at
So
all
I would
times.
like to know, and I think that's important for everyone to know, what were the differences on set in this movie versus It Ends With Us in terms of her feeling comfortable and safe in the sexual nature scenes? I would like to know.
I would
And I
like to
think
know
that's
too.
important for the prosecution and the defense to talk about in trial.
But also, like, how do you coordinate? Like, I'm just thinking, like, how is it that you were uncomfortable with the birthing scene, but yet you're not uncomfortable, like, performing a scene where you're getting fingered by your sister?
That part is way wild. And that part is obviously, see, this is why everything that she is saying about what happened on set with Justin Baldoni feels very much a pointed issue towards just Justin and Jamie, and not about the script and things that happen on set. It feels very much pointed towards the two guys and just kind of production in general, because I think she just didn't like them as human
Yeah.
beings, and she didn't like the way production was being run. She felt like she wasn't in charge. She felt like they were running maybe more of
Yeah.
an amateur situation. She knew Ryan didn't like them. They weren't giving her full control, and so she
Yeah.
decided to go against them on everything. But I don't think that the actual sexual nature of the scenes were anything crazier than anything she's ever been involved in before. And this actually is going to remind me of something, and I'm hesitant to show this on my show because this is about wackadoodle doctor, allegedly. And
The
this is someone,
wackadoodle Me Too doctor?
yeah, this is someone who you have blocked.
No, I think she blocked me
Okay.
because I called her out.
Yes. And I want to share her video because it's so
Oh, I just saw
insane,
it.
but I also don't, because then I
Oh,
have
wait.
to show her content.
It's fine. Show her content because there were so many. I saw this video a few minutes ago and I was like,
Did someone
that's
share
wrong.
it with
And
you?
that's wrong. Someone posted it on X.
Okay, we have a major, major problem. And I had to comment last night. I try not to engage anymore, but I don't want to block because I'm very interested in some of these pro Blake people. So there is a doctor out there who is a forensic psychologist, whatever that means. I don't understand what forensic psychologists means. I know a psychologist. What is forensic? What is the meaning of forensic?
Let's Google it. Forensic. Forensic means relating to or denoting the application of scientific methods and techniques to investigate a crime.
Okay, so it's
So
about making it criminal. It's like when it becomes criminal.
I think it's with the intention of like investigating a crime.
So when there's a criminal nature to something,
Well, yeah,
using your
doesn't she
psychological,
interview? But isn't her specialty like working with people like psychopaths?
okay, I'm just going to go here. Nancy Drew. Of course, Nancy Drew would know. A forensic psychologist is a professional who applies psychological principles to legal issues. Their work sits at the intersection of psychology and the justice system. Okay. So this person is a forensic psychologist, and
Allegedly.
she is a legal expert. She speaks about this case very
Allegedly.
much like she is in the know. She has been very, very forthcoming that she is pro Blake since day one. And we have had a little bit of a personal issue, you and I. We are the ones that, well, can we just say it?
Yeah, I think we should just say it.
At this point, we should just say it, right? You say it.
Well, not just us. Every single person that I've spoken to that had those HR complaints that we covered.
If you guys
all-
remember a few months ago,
Yeah.
We-
We talked about the HR complaints and we kind of walked through whether they were real or not real. And ultimately, by the end of that live, we kind of debunked that we didn't think that they were real, but we presented them and a lot of people were afraid to present them. And there were a lot of people that were in possession of these documents, but did not want to publish them. Every person that I talked to, the origination of those documents, whether they got it from somebody else or not, they all originated back to this same doctor. So and we don't know how this doctor got these alleged HR complaints that allegedly came from Sony. I've always said that my own conjecture and speculation is that she possibly created these or may have doctored these complaints herself and was then circulating them because there were a number of press outlets and content creators that were in possession of them. And I think the only person that I've been able to link back the origination of these documents is to this Me Too, this wackadoodle Me Too doctor.
and listen, I don't know, she was very, very confident over messaging with us saying, my connection at Sony sent these to us. They are coming out in Blake's amended complaint.
Yeah.
These will be in Blake's amended complaint. There are multiple people on the set of It Ends With Us that have been sexually not harassed, assaulted by Justin Baldoni. Multiple people have been sexually assaulted by Justin Baldoni on the set of It Ends With Us, and they were all coming out in Blake's amended complaint. And it was so confident in her wording, and we were going back and forth, and I was so like on the fence about reporting. But this was back, when was this? January, February? It was so early on in the case that I was like, I feel like she's so confidently speaking from knowledge about it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, she also was going around saying that she had early access to Blake Lively's amended complaint. And remember, she said it was like 275 pages. Remember, she was like, that's how I know, because this is the number of pages that it was. And we were like, okay, and we waited until 11:59 for that fucking amended complaint to drop.
We were waiting
on the edge of, and we were like, okay, if it's 270 whatever pages she was saying at the time, then we know that she has some sort of in. And then it ended up only being like 130 pages. So we're like, okay, she's totally not being fully honest. Like, something about her stories just don't add up. And her video, there are a number of, and I think what turned
So let me share the video first.
Hold on really quickly before. What turned me off to her, or the biggest red flag to me, which is when I saw her video about Kirsty Flaw, and she was going on her TikTok or her Instagram, and she was very confidently saying that video, that it was doctored, because the full video, it's available on YouTube, and you can watch the full video on YouTube, where you can see she was told not to ask Blake about her baby bump. And so I remember I kept asking her, I'm like, first of all, Kirsty's already come out and denied that that's true. And second of all, where's the YouTube link to the video that you claim exists? And she would never produce the YouTube link to that video. She just kept saying, it's on YouTube. I don't know. I don't have time to go find it for you. And I'm like, well, if it exists, then where is it? And she's like, what are you trying to say, that it's AI, that it's a fake video? And I'm like, well,
just show me the link. Just show me the link.
She could never produce the link.
Also, she said that Shasti, her name is Shasti. I know it looks like Kirsty, but also she said that Shasti touched the bump.
Yeah, that she touched it first initially, and you could see that in the video. And I was like, there's
no video of it.
Not true. I was like, where's the video? Show the video, produce the link. And she was just like, I can't. And then I would keep questioning her. I was like, just send me the link. Send me the link. And she's like, I'm a doctor. Like, how dare you question me? Like, I'm a professional. And I'm like, if you're a professional, that's dangerous, because you are spreading information that I don't need. Like, does she believe her lies? Play the video so we can get into more
so let's watch this video that I saw last night that really I was like, no. You can't, because it's half of it is lies, and you're saying I'm a doctor, which scares me. Here we go.
Is being screwed over by her attorneys. And I'd like to tell you a few things that, well, if I was
I'm going to start it over, because the beginning of it was cut off, but it starts with saying Blake Lively is being screwed over by her attorneys.
I think Blake Lively is being screwed over by her attorneys. And I'd like to tell you a few things that, well, if I was an attorney or a part of that legal team, I would have spoken out about. That Blake Lively forced her husband's gin on a writer. It went on to say that she also offended another journalist. Oh my gosh, who's that? That's that Kristen Flaw. I don't know. The one that's like making a living off Blake Lively and who's a part of the lawsuit. They're boyfriend and girlfriend. Did you know that? Oh, and Blake and Ryan got married on a plantation, right? So the wedding planner showed them this amazing area. They had no idea it was a plantation. But then that was used against them to say that they donated to the NAACP because of their bad and they wanted to look better. When actually, if you check the timeline, they donated to the NAACP after the unaliving of George.
2019.
Number 3, when Talia Spencer, the crew member on It Ends With Us, spoke up and said that it was an uncomfortable environment because of Blake Lively. Well, she was never actually on the set. She was, however, employed by Wayfair, and she did actually quit one day before she got paid by 60 Minutes Australia to give that article that everybody saw. And why Australia? Because they don't pay in America. And from an insider source, she's also of the Bahia faith, and she was actually brought
Bahia.
into Wayfair to get other people to join the faith too. Oh, when they say that Lively's lawyers lied and took the emojis off the initial complaint, that was actually because the emojis just didn't go through the software that they used to transfer the information back and forth. Oh, and Justin's friend was subbed in last minute to be the OB/GYN on the movie set, and that the movie is proof that nothing was wrong or uncomfortable. So her intimate areas were covered in the scene that they used in the movie, but they did multiple takes where she was vulnerable. Now, my source tells me that there were only supposed to be 3 takes, but Baldoni wanted to do it again and again, almost perseverating on Blake's vulnerability and discomfort and exposure. Of those takes at the very end when Blake was nude, she was turned the other way. She was distracted by Baldoni, and then he turned all the cameras on so all the cast and crew could see her very nude body. And if we go to trial, if America goes to trial and sees this or hears this, people are going to be under oath. They're not going to perjure themselves. So if I were a part of the legal team, what I would have done is released a statement saying that there were more scenes and that Friedman chose to release one. Everything he has released has been in the favor of Baldoni. Got a lot more.
He's the attorney.
I'll be back.
Please don't come back. Guys, so this is the craziest thing. So I, of course, respond last night. So many facts wrong. They donated $2 million to the NAACP in 2019.
Before George Floyd.
Documented. George Floyd was murdered on 2020.
Because she says, check the timeline. Well, it's like, yeah, you fucking loser. Like, check the timeline and you'll realize it was a year before. Like, it's just insane to me. And I noticed that, and somebody, I think it was Citizen Journalist, DM'd me, and they're like, I noticed that her account now says that it's satire. And I was like, it does now. And we caught when she changed it to satire. Because it was when I was calling her out for lying about the what do you say it? Shasti flaw with the little bump video, when I was calling her out about that. And then I was asking her to produce the link, and I was asking her very specific questions about her source and about those fake HR complaints. And she couldn't give me answers. And that's when eventually she changed her profile to now say satire. Because remember, she had a video out there where she said that SH and SA, assault and harassment, are the same thing. And she then took that down. And I remember asking her, I go, why did you take that video down? And she said something about how, like, oh, it went against community guidelines on TikTok or Instagram, one of the two. And I was like, well, if it went against the community guidelines on one platform, why did you delete it from both platforms?
Every platform.
And she said, oh, well, that was just my team said to be safe. I'm like, who doesn't have a team? All the personalities in your fucking brain?
Yeah, team number 1, team number 2. Boop, boop. But this is the craziest thing. So I call her out on all her facts that she got wrong. And this is just off the top of my head. Number 1, have you ever read any knowledge? I don't remember reading anything in any complaint that Justin's, the actor that I don't even want to say Justin's friend. He happened to know Justin, Adam Monshine. He's an actor. The guy that played the OBGYN, I don't remember ever reading that he was subbed in.
No, I don't remember.
That is a fake. Even Blake Lively hasn't said that.
No, well, she's also put out a video. This wackadoodle Me Too doctor also put out a video saying that she has multiple women that claim that they were essayed in college. And she was like, by an actor on the set of It Ends With Us. I'll let you guess which actor. And I'm like, who? Are you saying Brandon Sklenar did this? No, you are insinuating Baldoni is what people are deducing. But like, it's just like, it's insane. But again, those reports haven't come out to any other content creators. The media, if they had multiple accusers, would run with that story tomorrow.
It's wild. And it's crazy that how strong she's on it. So I call her out on just some facts off the top of my head. She, of course, does not respond to me.
Of course not.
Of course. Right. And then this is the craziest thing. The comments, this man, Cammy, who the hell, I don't know, Cameron, who looks real fun.
Expatriate.
He's probably expatriate. Yeah, exactly. He says, it's crazy how you think that your information is so accurate. He says this to me. I'd be willing to bet money that Leslie has met Blake. Can you say the same, Donna? Also, your mother spelled your name wrong. Now,
okay.
Leslie liked that
of course she did.
Comment, meaning she either likes that he's making fun of my name or she likes the fact that she's met Blake. Do you think
I don't believe she's met Blake. I'm sure maybe in her head she's met Blake several times. But like again, he's like, it's crazy that you think your information is so accurate. Even if you focus on just the NAACP donation, it happened in 2019,
Google
which is
it?
explicitly written in the Times article. They talk about the 2019 donation. Blake and Ryan made 2 donations, the 2019 donation that was referenced in the Time article, and then there was the 2020 donation. It was what, 2 million, and then in 2020 there was an additional 200,000.
I have no idea where these people are getting off with their fucking fake facts. I'm like, where are you making this shit up? It's like they're literally just coming up with things and saying it strongly into camera and thinking that because people actually just believe whatever she says because her name is Doctor.
Well, and that's what she would tell me in the DMs. She would be like, I'm a doctor. I'm a doctor. I'm like, cute. And that doesn't mean you're not a liar.
It's really scary, actually, you know what's so scary about this is that people actually, I don't know if she takes clients one-on-one, but what's scary is that because she has the word Dr. Leslie Dobson, I just said her name. Okay, there you go.
You saw her Instagram.
I know, that's true. Is that like, I would imagine that someone is going to now go to her at some point and be like, you are an expert, so you are going to be able to diagnose me.
Yeah.
But she can't even look at a timeline factually. Even in the Sherilyn Eiffel Time magazine, she links to the article about the donation and it's dated. So how can
Which
you
is
make a
wild.
mistake there?
But it's just, and that's the thing. I'm like, does she believe her own bullshit? Is she just doing this for engagement because she knows people are going to get mad at her? Like, I don't understand what she thinks that, like, I don't know what's going on in her brain. Like, is she just genuinely doing this for the engagement? Because I'm like, people accuse us of just doing this for the engagement. I'm like, that's somebody that's like genuinely just going into the camera and telling things that are just blatantly false that can be very easily fact checked.
I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand stuff like that. Like, I understand getting things wrong once in a while. I mean, I get things wrong by mistake all the time.
Yeah.
But it's intentionally recording
Also,
a reel.
Who doesn't know they're having a wedding on a plantation?
By the way, it's called Boone Plantation. Like, when you're writing the checks. What do you mean? It's not called Boone Yards or Boone Farm.
But also, you would also think at some point, if you're having a wedding there, you would do a walkthrough of the location. And when you get
I
there,
love Slave Street.
you know, like when you actually show up on there and you see the slave cabins, like it just to me was wild.
I mean, literally, how much more? Like, if they take a tour of Auschwitz, are they going to walk through and be like, well, this is a beautiful playground? Like, do they need to, are they that dumb? Do they need someone to spell out where they are? They didn't know it was a plantation, she says. I'm sorry. So you're calling Blake and Ryan dumb? Thank you so much, Josh. He says Blake doesn't want you to hit the like, which means do it. Rebel against Blake. Yeah, by the way, someone said earlier that we have 1,230 people watching and I only had like 200 likes. That's horrible odds.
They hate your content.
They really do. I think that they're all here for Dr. Wackadoodle.
Yeah. She's great. Like, she's honestly something else. And again, she just changed her bio to say satire so she can just be like, well, why are you taking me serious? Like, it's just, it's wild to me. All of it.
It feels very frustrating. And yesterday really took me over the edge because between that and then Ryan Reynolds doing the stupid Green Day induction at the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which just feels like they are flooding the zone. They are just going everywhere and anywhere. They're literally, you know what it feels like? It feels like they're getting a list of like anything possible that they can show up with press-wise by Leslie Sloan. And they're like, check. Yes, I'll be there. 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 So that if you Google Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively right now, they are just going to be everywhere and anywhere, everywhere, all the time. I'm going to show you guys just a little bit of Ryan Reynolds trying to be funny at this speech. It's really going to be hard. Once again, everyone grab your wine popcorn. It's tough. It's tough, but we just got to do it because I guess that's my job, is just to show you a little bit of his annoying jokes. Here we go.
Mike, connection to this iconic band goes back to its earliest days. Green Day being the only child of Doris Day, and that is not the right card. That is somebody's with me. Okay, so sorry. All right, Wikipedia version. Don't say this out loud. Oh, I just said it. Okay, yeah. So before they were the indelible Green Day, they were called Blood Rage and Sweet Children.
What?
Back in the day when I was young and full of cocaine, I organized the cupboards. Evidently, some people, they came up with band names, which I think is a much better use of time and, narcotics. And as a father of 4, Blood Rage and Sweet Children makes a lot of sense to me now. It's also, I think, a great name for a memoir. My connection to this iconic band
Can we
goes...
talk for a second about this obsession with talking about that he's on drugs?
He's so funny. Oh my God. How did he get so funny? He has
Well,
the
I don't
best
know.
jokes ever.
You liked Another Simple Favor, so I don't trust you anymore.
Well, he was not in Another Simple Favor.
That is out of control. You are literally being watched every breath you take. Every breath you take. We are watching everything you do, and you're joking about being on cocaine as a kid and rage against, like, raging as a father of 4. While Blake is like, I'm here to protect the world and make the world safer for women. What the fuck is wrong with these two?
Isn't it wild? Like, it just...
How wild is it
so
while you're
funny.
looking at your phone? I feel like
No,
I'm talking to my husband when I talk to
No,
you.
because I was trying to find the Dr. Leslie DMs.
Okay, but every time I talk to you on my podcast, I feel like I'm talking to my husband. I'm like, are you paying attention to me?
I'm multitasking.
Are you watching the Karen Reed trial? Like, what is happening that's more important than being on Daily
Well,
Dose of
somebody
Donna?
said that Dr. Leslie changed her profile back and it no longer says satire. So I was trying to fact check it, something she doesn't do.
Molly gets it perfectly. He so desperately wants to be the number 1 guy in the group. And unfortunately, Jax Taylor and his coke nose took over that. You know what? He would probably be on the Valley next season.
Jax or Brian?
Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, at this rate.
He really would. He can't stop bringing up drugs. It's wild.
Drugs
Amy says,
and
our society is spoon-fed misinformation. Looking at the legal documents removes the ability to be manipulated in my information. Yeah. You have to stick with the legalities. That's really, really important here. And I know there's a lot of legal updates. I'm not going to go through them today because I just want to stick with talking, smack and being triggered. But if you stick with the legalities, like even when we talk about the Karen Reed trial in just a moment, I'm going to pull up and you can stick around for this because you're going to die if you see some of this stuff on trial. But like, people are really manipulative on the stand. And people can play these games of like, sorry, Your Honor, sorry, I don't remember, I don't know, I can't recall, this and that. You can play this like, I'm just a soccer mom. I don't know what this, and you're hiding a murder. Like, people are very, very good at manipulating and very good at lying.
Wait, okay, so dumb it down for me. What happened with Karen Reed?
Oh, are we going to get Zack Peter into Karen Reed right now? This will be so fun. Okay, I will give you a 30-second. Karen Reed on January 28th, 2022, was hanging out with her boyfriend. His name is John O'Keefe. He's a Boston cop. Small town, Canton, 15 years. They're all drinking with a bunch of the Boston cops in Canton, Massachusetts. Small town. Everyone's drunk. They're at like some bars. They all decide to go to one of the Boston cops' houses. Okay. So they're driving drunk. Everyone's driving drunk in different cars. Never drive in Canton after 10 p.m.
Fun.
Everyone's drunk driving. It's a late night. It's snowy. They go to one of the houses. They've never been there before. She drops him. She's like, the lights are all kind of off. I don't know if we should go in. He gets out of the car to go in because they're getting text messages from one of the women inside saying, come in. He goes in. She doesn't see him come back out. She calls him. She's texting him. She's like, where are you? Where are you? He's not picking up. He's not calling back. She's like, fuck this after a few minutes. She doesn't feel comfortable going in. The lights are all off. She doesn't really know these people. She gets really pissed off. She's drunk. They're kind of fighting that day earlier. She drives away. She goes home. Okay. She goes back to his house. She wakes up at 5 a.m. He's not there.
Okay.
She's freaking out. 4 a.m. She's freaking out. You know that after a long night of drinking, where is he? She calls all her friends. She calls her girlfriends. They're driving around in a blizzard. She finds the body in the snow in front of the house where she dropped him off the night before. Now, she happened to drop him off at a cop's house. All the people in the house were all the cops and the cops' wives and it's a big party, a bunch of the cops, the kids, whatever. The point is, the body's in the snow. He's dead, bleeding, injured all over, died of hypothermia. But she has no idea what happened. And she's running around saying, oh my God, could I have hit him? Like, what happened? What happened? And one of the women that she's with, when she called this woman to help her find the body. His sister is with the woman in the house, and she's the one on the stand all day today. She, I believe, with her sister and her sister's husband and all these people, I don't know if it's by accident or intentional, are covering up the fact that they killed the guy, left his body in the snow, and they're trying to frame the woman who drove off and went home for killing him with her car. She just went home, I believe, but they're saying that she killed him with her car drunk.
And
Does that
she's
make
saying
sense?
She doesn't remember.
She doesn't remember. She was wasted. But the facts don't look like he was actually injured by a car. His injuries don't match. He has scratches all over his arm that look like dog bites and dog scratches. They had a dog, a German Shepherd. There's a lot of tough things. But the woman who was on the stand today, Jen McCabe, is sisters with the homeowner, who is the wife of the cop that lives in the house. And she is like the mastermind of the plan. And she has been caught. She's already had to, testify in multiple times because this is the retrial. So she's getting caught in all the inconsistencies and all the lies. And you're watching one of the best defense attorneys ever cross-examining her and catching her in her lies. And it's fucking phenomenal. It is like I don't know how Brian Friedman is on like cross examination. I've never seen him in live trial. Like, I have no idea if he's good at this, but Alan Jackson is like TV worthy. It is phenomenal. So I have like just a couple videos from today. I'm going to show you guys just a couple. I screen record just like moments, but there was just a couple moments of Jen McCabe. Just like today, she had to read some text messages from the day after of her with her sister. And for example, one of the text messages with her and her sister was, she was like, any update? This is the day after that the morning he was found on the lawn. And then later that day, she goes, any update? And the sister goes, I don't want to talk over text. Well, that's not something you text when your friend was found dead on your lawn. How about, I am so devastated, his poor family. I don't want to talk over text. That's suspicious. Why would you text that? Isn't that weird?
I have questions. Now I'm interested. Now I need to catch up on this. Dude,
welcome to the fucking party. It is, right, you guys? Tell him in the comments. It's phenomenal. Okay. I'm going to show you really fast just a couple of videos about this. You're going to die. It's so good. Okay. This is my photos. Hold on.
Questioned. It's days after. It was a chaotic morning. I remembered the waterfall, Julie, then Tom Beatty. Calling to my sister wasn't as important ingrained in my mind at that point. No.
And then you testified at a grand jury, not hours or days later. You testified at a grand jury months later, correct?
Correct.
And at that grand jury, you also left out the fact that you contacted your sister, correct?
There's nothing nefarious. I remembered who I called. I didn't go back and look at phone records.
I didn't say it was nefarious. Why would you use the word nefarious?
Because there's nothing about me calling my sister that is nefarious, and I feel like you're insinuating it might be, and it's not.
Did you use that word because it sounds nefarious?
No, I just use the word because I think that's how you're trying to portray something that is nothing.
Or to use that word because you think that's how it's coming across. That's nefarious.
Oh.
Without contact. Doesn't feel fair.
No, not at all.
Do you love that? She goes, what do you mean? I just used, what do you mean? Nefarious. Why would you even say the word nefarious? It wasn't nefarious. Okay. Do you get it, Zach? Are you getting like, okay, just watch her demeanor. She is covering up. Someone said sound too low, but I can't really make it louder. This is the loudest I can make it here.
Turn up your hearing aid.
Turn up your hearing aid. Don't be mean. What if she's not wearing a hearing aid? Okay, watch this one.
Did that search at 2:27? I never needed to instruct somebody.
Oh, at 2:27 a.m., there's a Google search on her phone. House long, it's HOS, but she meant to Google how. House long to die in cold. She Googled at 2:27 a.m. She then deleted the Google search off her phone and then Googled the exact same search later around 6 a.m. She's saying, I never Googled it at 2:27 a.m. I only Googled it at 6 when Karen Reed and I were finding the body because Karen told me to Google it. Karen's like, I never fucking told you to Google that. What? Okay, watch.
Did that search at 2:27? I never needed to instruct somebody. No, I'm sorry.
There's an apology again. Has someone told you that you need to apologize when you say, when there's an uncomfortable question that you don't want to ask?
No.
Have you discussed this with anybody?
No, and that's not an uncomfortable question. I'm fine to answer it.
How many times did you say, I apologize yesterday?
I didn't count.
Probably more than 15, right?
I have no idea. I'm just trying to answer the questions and be truthful as I can.
And you're aware that the Celebrite extraction that was done on your phone determined that of the 3 searches, 2:27 a.m., 6:23 a.m., 6:24 a.m., only one of them was recorded as deleted, correct?
Gotcha. Existing.
Oh, that fucking judge.
Have you ever been confronted?
She deleted only one Google search, only the 2:27 a.m. one, which was way before she found that body in the snow with Karen Reed.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So this is Karen, by the way. This is Karen watching it with the other defense attorney. That's Karen's dad and mom, who we adore. We love them. I mean, I'm obviously a free Karen Reed person. I found out a lot of people are not. Now, this is the best part.
Dr. Leslie.
Dr. Leslie for sure is not. This is the best part. If you guys want to see some of the best defense attorneying you'll ever see ever, this is right before the lunch break. When he talks to her about when they find John's body in the snow and he is holding on by a thread. He's basically dying. And she is like trying to save his life. So she calls 911. And the question I had on my Instagram reel yesterday was, why wouldn't you go into the house to wake up your brother and sister and to get them, because he's a cop, right? Or to make sure they're okay because you have a dead person in the front of their house. Wouldn't you worry about your sister who's in the house and they're not coming out and no light is turning on? Maybe they're dead too, right? So this is when he starts questioning her. Okay. You guys, I'm going to be honest. This turned me on. I'm just going to be honest.
To relay to the 911 officials.
I don't know.
You were even asked by the 911 operator, does anybody know CPR? And your answer was no, correct?
I have to listen to it to remember my exact answers.
But it was basically in the negative. No, we're not professionals. We're just out here doing the best we can, correct?
I wouldn't say that, no.
You didn't believe Karen Reed knew CPR?
I didn't know. I don't think I answered that question. I don't think it was asked.
You didn't know if Carrie Roberts knew CPR, correct?
I didn't know if they knew CPR, correct?
And none of you were paramedics?
No.
None of you were first responders?
No.
None of you were trained in emergency life-saving techniques in any way, correct?
Correct.
I have a question, Ms. McCabe. On all of Fairview, the entire road between Chapman and Cedar Crest, can you think of any person on that road who might have had life-saving techniques trained into them? First responder, someone who knew how to deal with someone in distress, someone with high skill level training. You think of anyone on Fairview who had that kind of training?
Can I now or did I then? Which are you asking?
Did you then?
No, then my focus was on John O'Keefe.
Okay, let me narrow the focus. How about on the property? How about at 34 Fairview? Could you think of anyone that was a first responder who would have life-saving training, life-saving technique training under his belt?
Yes, my brother-in-law, Brian Albert.
And you didn't go in the house, did you?
No, I did not.
When you arrived at the scene, you didn't go in? Not until much later, correct?
Our focus was John.
You knew that Brian Albert was inside the house. You'd just been with him hours earlier, correct?
Yes.
You knew that his window was 30 feet away. You're staring at it. You could look at it if you wanted to, correct?
It's off turn angle.
And you didn't go in the house then either.
I did not know.
You knew that John O'Keefe was clinging to life during those precious minutes and seconds. Is that right?
I did, yes.
And you also knew that Brian Albert, your brother-in-law, was a first responder trained to deal with people in that kind of distress, correct?
In that moment, my only thoughts were John and everything we could do for John.
Well, then you would go inside.
Blankets inside the house. Is that right?
I did, yes. There were warm blankets in the house.
And you still never went in, did you?
No, I went and attended to John because once I finished calling 911, I went over to John and Kerry Roberts asked me to take over compressions. So I felt like that was more important and 911 was on the way. I never thought about going in the house. I just thought, how can I help John?
You never thought about going in the house.
But
you pull out your cell phone and make 2 phone calls, didn't you?
After I called 911, I tried calling my sister, yes.
While John was out in the cold, clinging to life, you weren't doing chest compressions at 6:07 and 6:08, were you?
I was walking over when I was calling.
You were calling your sister on the phone, weren't you?
I was calling them to see if they would come out, but I was going right over to work on him.
And you could have walked 25 feet to the front door, walked in the house, and screamed for Brian Albert to come out and help you in those precious seconds and minutes, couldn't you?
That would have taken me away from helping John, getting Kerry blankets, giving him compressions.
And making those 2 very important phone calls at 6:07 and 6:08 that you say were not answered.
They were not important phone calls. I tried to call my sister, and then I focused on John.
They were not important phone calls, but they were important enough for you to make while John is clinging to life right there in front of you, right?
As I was walking over, I called to see if she would answer.
And she didn't answer. Let's talk about that. She didn't answer according to you.
So if we're going to talk about it, we're beyond the luncheon break.
it's almost over, you guys. This is the end.
I'll wrap it.
Okay,
Let's talk about that real quick.
sure.
She didn't answer the phone, did she?
No, she didn't.
So you have a situation where a man is laying dead or dying in the front yard of your sister's house. You see nothing in terms of life inside the house. Lights aren't coming on. They're not getting up. They're certainly not coming outside, right?
They were sound asleep
Coming outside, were they?
because they were asleep.
You didn't know they were asleep. All you knew was there was a severely injured man on the front lawn of their house, and your sister didn't answer the phone, not once, but twice, correct?
Correct, she didn't answer the phone.
Did you think your sister might have been in peril?
That's what I would think.
Go inside the house and
Is
check.
being in where?
His
I had no reason to.
the sister's inside the house, no lights are being turned on, and you have a dead guy right in front of their house. I would think my sister's dead.
Oh yeah.
I would be like, there is a
If she
serial
didn't answer,
killer.
yeah.
Someone came in their house, killed everyone. The dog's not barking. No lights are turning on. My sister's not picking up her phone. Is she dead too? That's what I would
Yeah.
think. That would freak me out. The house is 20 feet away from screaming women and lights and the police. I mean, Karen's screaming. No one's coming out. That's weird. He's a cop. He doesn't wake up to a screaming woman outside his house.
Yeah.
That's weird. Okay.
Think that they weren't okay.
You had no reason to believe they weren't okay. A man was dead or dying on their lawn, and your sister's not answering the phone, and nobody was coming out to the chaos of Jeremy screaming on the front lawn. You didn't think there was some reason to believe they could have been in peril?
I didn't because your client was screaming she hit him. She had a cracked taillight. She was crying she hit him. I didn't, but my focus, Can I finish, please?
You had solved the crime right then and there. You solved the whole case.
No, I didn't. I knew John never came in the house, so I had no concern for anyone's safety inside the house.
The reason you didn't go inside the house is because you knew better. You knew better. You knew she wasn't in peril. You knew that Brian Albert wasn't in peril. You weren't worried at all about them, were you?
I was not worried at all because something happened on the front lawn that had nothing to do with anything inside that house.
You weren't worried about them at all because you knew what really happened, didn't you?
At that moment, I didn't know that he was hit by a vehicle and there was taillight found next to him.
Bullshit. And that is what, you guys, that is what called her out right there when she said, and you're not going to know this, obviously, Zach, because you don't know enough about the case, but she straight up said, you guys, she said, I knew that there was taillight right around him. No taillight was found at that moment. There was no taillight found around his body until way later when they planted the taillight because the crime scene wasn't roped off because the investigation was horrendous. She said that Karen Reed was running around saying, I hit him, even though at that day she said that Karen Reed was running around saying, could I have hit him? She had just solved it. She was like, oh, well, clearly Karen Reed hit him with a car because there's taillight. Like, what? This is fucking crazy. You guys,
You would also just think you would run into the house to get people out there to be like, hey, guy, like you would just think you're in distress, that you'd be like, hello, guys, there's a dead man on your lawn. Like, yeah, even if you don't believe that anyone inside the house did anything, but at least like there's a situation right outside. Why would you not think to alert them who are right in? Like,
and your brother-in-law is a cop. If you're calling 911, you have a cop 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Your 911 is upstairs.
Yeah.
Also, by the way, Molly killed me because she just commented, house long to check on family, which her Google search was house long to die in the snow. And now it's house long to check on family. House long to make sure that we can cover up a crime. It is such compelling. But like Alan Jackson, honestly, between him and Brian Friedman, I don't know. I've never been so turned on. Defense attorneys.
Watch Another Simple Favor.
No, I don't want to spend my life doing that. Mildly says, Donna, what do you think really happened? I think obviously the dog had something to do with it. I think he walked in the door and immediately was sent by the guys into another room. I don't know if there was like a little bit of a fight. The dog started attacking. I think that they didn't plan on killing him. I think he died. I think he got injured by the gym equipment downstairs. There's a piece of gym equipment downstairs that had like a jet out. He had an injury on his head, like a really bad injury down there. There was so much injury on his arm, dog attacks.
What if he got in a fight with the dog and maybe he was attacking the dog and someone in protection of the dog attacked him and accidentally killed him?
Listen, it could have been anything. They were all drunk. They had all been drinking.
Have you seen that
Seriously.
The Judge Judy TikTok that people are imitating? She's like, were you all drinking? And the lady's like, no. She's like, were you drugging? Ooh. I love the Judge Judy
I haven't seen that.
They're so funny.
Well, Molly wants to know, Molly says the crimes I would commit just to have Alan Jackson defend me. So we're now Molly is literally trying to commit some sort of murder to get Alan Jackson to hang out with her alone. What is sapiosexual? Donna's a sapiosexual. What does that mean? Is that into attorneys?
No, it means like I don't know. What is that? You're turned on by something.
I hope so. Really fast before I just wanted to talk really fast about the LVP Sheena story, and then you're gonna go.
Oh yeah.
But before you go, before we get there, you're coming to Dosers Live.
Yes.
And tickets are tickets have gone on sale for the VIP list, the people that got on the list, and we're pretty much 50% sold out already. I'm super excited. And then the tickets go on sale for everyone else this weekend. I'm going to put out the list on the newsletter this weekend. I'm so excited. It's going to be really fun.
I can't wait.
I know. So, okay, I'm going to let's talk about LVP. What did you think? LVP went off last night.
On Watch What Happens Live, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not really into any of this ever. Like, I don't watch any of it, but I just feel like we have to just cover a little bit. You don't like her anymore because she was
No,
not
'cause she was a
nice to you.
bitch to me when I saw her at the Vanderpump Villa party for
So
no
what's
reason.
what's the deal? Why is she just like not a nice person anymore? Or
I
she's
don't know.
always not a nice person, maybe.
I think she's always not been a nice person. Just people are now starting to see it.
Do you think she just is really desperate for people to watch her show, that she's just coming out with all of the stuff?
Maybe.
I don't care about her Jax Taylor advice. I just want to see the Sheena.
Oh
She
my
was
goodness.
mean about Sheena, I thought.
She was mean about Sheena, and it was. I mean, I get that Sheena took a dig at her and was just like, "Well, she only calls me when she needs something."
Well,
And I
that's
get it.
true.
Like, yeah, I get it. Like, she used Sheena. I mean, I would understand why Sheena would be salty because she literally used her to launch Vanderpump Rules with Brandi Glanville. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay, watch.
Sheena saying that she is spilling a lot of tea in her up and coming book, and has she given you a heads up of what she will be saying in it?
She said she's spilling a lot of tea about you.
About me?
Yes.
Oh, good Lord. Well, that's probably just to sell the book because she hasn't got anything else to say. Do you know what I mean? You know what? I don't know. I've heard she said some nasty thing, something nasty recently. She said something like, I only call her when I need something. True that, right? I've got 600 people that work with. I think the last time I needed her was when I invited her to my house to Teddy's birthday. So, yes, that's when I've called her. Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Teddy's birthday? Like Teddy Mellencamp's?
No, it can't be Teddy Mellencamp.
I'm like, what?
Hey, Lisa.
Here's an-
She's
Oh wait,
what?
my mom. She texted me last night.
About?
She was at where was she? She was at a Clippers game. And she sends me this photo.
Wait, I need to see it full. Hold on. Is that Garcelle?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a photo of Garcelle, and she said, I'm at the Clipper game. We're literally close to Garcelle. She said they have a pic of her. We have a pic of her sitting right in front of us. She said, did you interview her? I was like, no, I've never interviewed her.
She's not going to want to do your show.
I was like, I've never interviewed. Oh, Teddy's Lisa Vanderpump's
Grandson.
grandson. Got it.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the rumors about Beverly Hills and the recasting and like what's going to happen
So,
next season?
What I've seen online is that Kyle, Dorit, Bose, and Sutton are back. Well, I mean, I've heard a few different things. I've heard that Erica may be demoted. I've heard that Erica may not be coming back. There may be a cast shakeup. I've heard that one diamond holder is going to be gone, and one diamond holder is going to be demoted, and one friend of is going to be gone. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, other than just like the random rumors, which I think originate to like Bravo and Cocktails or blind items, I don't know. I mean, we're not going to know until they're in production.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of boring. I'm bored with
But I
all
also
of
feel like
these.
the show can't lose Kyle, Dorit, and Erica.
No.
I feel
Well,
like those are
I definitely think it can't lose Kyle. And now it can't lose Dorit, especially with this new
Well,
PK.
but the only
divorce.
person that's the only fabric between any of the cast members left is Erica. You know, like she's actually friends with Kyle and she's actually friends with Dorit. And Dorit and Kyle are rocky. Sutton has no friends. Bose only has Dorit. So Erica's kind of now become the common thread that even connects them. That I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you lose Erica? And then the cast is so disconnected, you know?
It would be hard to have a show without Erica. Erica also brings a certain spice, even though she did have a little bit of a boring season. But I
Yeah.
do think that she does bring a spice to Beverly Hills, like a certain kind of energy that the rest of the Beverly Hills women just don't have.
Well, I mean, even the finale, Erica's the only one that was trying to even make the finale interesting when she was like, you're saying that we plotted against Sutton, and she called out Jennifer Tilly and Garcelle. And, you know, Sutton, you can't go up against her because her little bird legs are going to snap. And then Garcelle constantly turned herself into the victim. So it was like they weren't an even like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
just feel like everyone kind of phoned it in this season.
Yeah. And I guess there's a new Miami trailer coming out.
Boring. I saw it came out yesterday. It was boring.
I know.
As fuck.
I didn't even watch it. That's how like not tuned in
But
I
it wasn't
am.
even good. Like there was nothing in it that it was like,
No
oh, I
one is
want to see
excited
this.
about it. It's not.
Miami's boring. Are you watching Atlanta?
No.
Racist.
Stop,
To me,
Zach.
no. To me, the
I'm the
issue
one that didn't get married on a plantation.
the issue with Atlanta for me is it's too many new people. Same thing why I think Roni flopped. Too many new people all at once.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't care to get to know. Like, I don't want to meet 4 new people and have to get to know 4 new people. Like, I'm not interested. The same thing with Vanderpump Rules, like the reboot. Which, by the way, I was filming for the reboot the other night unintentionally.
You're on the reboot. You are the
I don't
star
think
of the reboot.
I don't think I had to sign a release, yes, but I don't think that they're gonna use me.
Did you hear about this weird Johnny Bananas story? The only reason I'm bringing this up, this is so fucking random, because he did that Tom Sandoval podcast talking about the reboot.
Yeah.
You know how Tom Sandoval was on Johnny Bananas podcast?
Yeah.
And then Johnny Bananas was involved in this fatal, he's okay, but he was involved in this fatal golf cart accident with John Elway just 2 days ago. Did
Oh,
you hear about this?
no.
Oh my God, this is crazy. My friend just sent it to me. It's on TMZ. I'm like,
Is
oh
he
my,
okay?
he's okay. But this was, I'm going to pull it up for you guys. This is a crazy, crazy story. I don't know if anyone has seen. Oh, that's still her. I'm done with her.
Ew.
MTV star Johnny Bananas riding in cart with John Elway and his agent during a fatal golf cart accident. John Elway's agent, Jeff Spurbeck, died out of a golf cart.
Oh my God.
They were standing on the back of a golf cart as John Elway drove and his wife sat in the front seat. Johnny Bananas and Spurbeck were standing, and Spurbeck lost his balance, fell backwards, hit his head on the asphalt, and died.
Oh my God.
Alcohol was not a factor. I mean, how crazy is that? That was Wednesday.
That's insane.
They were in town for Stagecoach.
Oh, that's
But
horrible.
Elway was at a party, so maybe they were drinking.
Yeah. Maybe the guy
Bananas is
that
close
died
with
was
John Elway's son, Jack.
That's crazy.
How sad is that?
Did you watch the Sandoval interview?
I watched the parts that like came out.
So Sandoval was actually supposed to be on my show, and then Nick Viall blocked it.
Stop.
Yeah.
What happened?
He was scheduled to come on my show, and we were going to tape it at Spotify. And then at the last minute, he's like, by the way, we can't. I guess Nick Viall's not letting me film any other podcasts until the interview that I filmed with him is released. So he's like, it was stupid. So we had to cancel our taping, and we couldn't do it and we didn't even know when Nick Viall was going to release his interview at that point. We just know he had just taped with Nick Viall, and then Nick Viall's like, you can't do any other podcast. Not you can't release any other podcast. You can't go on any other podcast until mine comes out.
That's so annoying. And that's so weird.
It was, well, I mean, it's not weird. That's how
Why
Nick
does he
Viall
have
has
like
to
a
stay on top.
hold on Tom Sandoval?
I guess that was the agreement that he made with them or something.
Did
But
Tom give him such an exclusive interview?
I don't remember anybody talking about that interview.
I don't remember anyone saying a word about it.
More
I
people
feel
are talking about Johnny Bananas' interview than they were Nick Viall.
Yeah, because he didn't talk about the new VPR. He didn't talk. Oh,
Well, because Nick Viall's not very good at his job. That's why he has to block other people and have 15 other podcast co-hosts to carry the show for him, and nobody's interested in those 15 other people.
Yeah. I mean, I went off on Nick Viall earlier this week about him talking about the Travis Kelce unfollow. I don't know if you saw that.
What did he say?
He just said that it was so petty for Travis Kelce to insert himself in the situation.
He didn't. He just unfollowed somebody.
But they actually said that he's looking for press.
Oh, because Travis Kelce needs press. Okay.
Yeah. The host of the New Heights podcast, the one of the main players of the Kansas City Chiefs needs press. Taylor Swift's boyfriend.
If he needs press, he can walk outside his front door with his girlfriend, and there's instant
Once
paparazzi.
again, don't forget that Taylor Swift doesn't stand with Blake. That is the most obvious. She can put on her white dress.
Did you see Gigi Hadid didn't invite Blake Lively to her 30th birthday party?
But we can't confirm that. How?
She wasn't at the party.
Yeah, but Blake was traveling.
She was in New York promoting the premiere of It Ends With Us. Not It Ends With Us, Simple Favor.
The day after.
Right.
But she was
in New York.
But she was in Wales the day before.
She was in New York the day of the party. There was not even a birthday tribute on Instagram. Not
Okay,
like I
that
love your
is
yummy lip
more
gloss.
indicative of their friendship. Is there was
Taylor
not
Swift
a
was there. Anne Hathaway was
no,
there.
I know, but I honestly don't believe that they could have made it because think about it. On Saturday, they were in Wales for the Wrexham game. I don't know the time difference, but I'm assuming it's probably like 6 hours? What's the time difference between Wales and Donna has the flight logs. I'm not a stalker. What's the time difference between Wales and New York? Someone tell us. So they were in New York, they were in Wales on Saturday night. And then they were in New York on Sunday. So it's very possible they were in Wales on Saturday.
But also, she didn't need to go to Wales. I think she went to Wales. She would have gone to the party had she been invited to the party because it would have been great press for her to be photographed walking into the party with Gigi Hadid and Taylor Swift. And
It
that
would
would
have
have
been
put all the
amazing press for her to
speculation
be
rumors.
there. You're right. And it would have been amazing press. It was amazing press for her to be like, I'm standing by my man, and he and I are like a united
She
couple.
was just standing by him at the premiere of Another Simple Favor.
I don't know. It's a weird thing. You're right. I believe that they're not friends.
I believe
You're
that
right.
they're not friends. She didn't even do a birthday tribute to her on her Instagram story. She didn't say,
They
I love
would-
your yummy caramel lip gloss. Like nothing.
If they were friends, I keep interrupting you because that's how we play our game, you know. If or that's just, you know, you make me so ready to talk. If they were really friends and she couldn't make her party, she would have gone out of her way to make a big deal out of her birthday online. You're right.
Yeah. And
She didn't get invited.
She didn't get invited.
Because you know what else? Bradley Cooper, Gigi, someone from that party would have been at the premiere the next day.
Yeah.
Why wasn't Anne Hathaway at the premiere?
Stanley Tucci and Emily Blunt were there.
What does she have on Emily Blunt and Stanley Tucci? What does she have on them?
She's been friends with Emily Blunt for years, but she has to have. Well, I'm thinking, is she trying to work her way into the Devil Wears Prada sequel?
Well, she is a devil.
And
she could wear Prada.
No, she's Devil Wears Louboutins. That's all she wore in Another Simple Favor.
Your favorite movie?
Yeah. She had nothing but Louboutins the entire time. So this is the thing. The fashion, like a lot of the outfits that she was wearing were very Blake Lively and not Emily. And she even some of the dialogue where she's like telling Anna Kendrick, she's like, I'm just busting your balls, never with teeth. She didn't say
yummy.
So there's so many of those things that I'm like, this sounds like Blake's common vernacular that to me, I'm just like, I don't think that when Paul Feig's like, she's nothing like her character in Another Simple Favor, I'm like, bullshit.
What did Paul Feig just recently say something? He was just in an interview saying something, right?
That she's really sweet in person and she's a good mother and she's nothing like her character.
The fuck?
I was just like, and then watching the movie, I was like, actually, she's exactly like the character.
What does he have on her? What is going on with these ass kissers? At least we're not seeing Anna Kendrick go out in the press and say like Blake Lively is beautiful and wonderful.
Here's the thing that makes me believe the feud rumors and that Anna Kendrick is just doing her job and trying to play
Molly
nice.
tracks me. Do you wonder why Molly is my best friend?
Wears
These are our text messages all day long. Okay, keep going.
Anna Kendrick was just on Good Morning America. And she was telling this story because she doesn't have any cute anecdotes to working with Blake. So she tells this story about how she was at the London premiere of Another Simple Favor, and she happened to be staying at the hotel across the street from Rebel Wilson, and she saw Rebel Wilson, and she immediately calls Rebel, and they see each other, and then they start taking photos, posing with each other in the middle of the street, and Anna's still in her Another Simple Favor dress, like from the red carpet and the press interview. She's still in her dress, but she's literally in the middle of the street with Rebel Wilson, and they're posting photos together. And she's like, yeah. And then I went over to Rebel's hotel room and we hung out and we were chatting until 2 a.m. and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is a cute anecdote and a friendly story. And you have photos of them just taking candid photos in the middle of the street together. That to me is indicative of Anna Kendrick being friendly and being friends with Rebel Wilson in comparison to Blake Lively. You have no candid photos of them together, no cute anecdotes. I know Blake posted on her stories the other day about Anna and her appearance. I think it was on Jimmy Fallon. And she's like, oh my God, this woman's so talented. I love it.
It's really
She's
interesting.
trying the most. And Anna, I just don't think really likes her, to be honest.
So I agree. You can just feel the energy. Zach, before we wrap, how far are you from 100K?
Oh, I'm like 3,000 away.
Oh my God. You guys, if you have not followed Zack Peter over here on YouTube, obviously, what are you doing? Go on over to follow Zach at No Filter with
Molly
Zach.
Dare doesn't follow me.
Who?
Molly Dare.
Bull. Molly follows you so freaking, Molly follows you everywhere. Molly is up your, I was going to say up your ass. That just does not sound right.
Like Blake Lively was to her sister.
Oh my God, Zach, I want to play my theme music, but I can't because then if I play my theme music, it's going to go.
Daily dose of Donna. Oh, wait, do you want me to address that comment from Ashley?
What is it? Oh, no, don't bring it. Okay, but this has nothing he says relates to Donna and Daily Dose of Donna. I will remove myself from the situation. Go, Zach.
No. It's very straightforward. I didn't do anything to this person at all. I credited this person originally with a story that I was accused of not crediting them for. I credited this person, whatever. I posted something about my brother who has autism, and then I asked people not to turn it into anything political or to get mean in the comments. I said to keep it respectful. And anybody that watched my video about my brother, it's still on my page. You can see it. It was a very heartfelt, vulnerable video that I wasn't even sure I wanted to post. I didn't script it. I literally just talked about that. And then another creator came into my comments and was fighting with other moms in the comments. I did not like that. I didn't like the way that this person was speaking to other people. So I blocked this person, right? I don't have a friendship with this person. We've never gotten into an argument. There was never any falling out. There was never any bad blood. I did not like the behavior that this person exhibited in my comments when they were attacking other moms in my comments. So I very simply hit the block button, which I rarely ever do. That person then went on to their Instagram account, to their 100,000 plus followers, and wrote this nasty, scathing, vile post about me on their feed and on their Instagram stories about how I discriminated against their child who has autism. And I was like, that's vile and disgusting. And I would never discriminate against somebody else's child. I don't even know this person well enough to know that they had a child. That's how little I knew about this person. I don't watch their content regularly. We've DM'd a couple of times, but outside of that, I have no relationship with this person. We had no falling out. There was no reason for them to go as nasty and vile as they did and accuse me of discrimination. So that's all I have to say about that situation. I did nothing to this person, but blocked them for being terrible towards other people in my comments, when I specifically asked people to be kind in my comments regarding the nature of the video. And that's all she wrote. So yummy.
Can you imagine it? Whoa. Listen, I adore you, Zach. You have been nothing but an incredible friend to me, an incredible support to me through ups, through downs, through the highest highs and the
You've
lowest
been
lows.
accused of discrimination too.
We're making the world
and
safer.
I wrote
for
for you
women.
in that because I know your heart and I know you as a person. And I don't like when people come for our character, especially when they don't know us,
Yeah, and I'm not speaking even about that because that's between you and that person, and just like you don't really want to necessarily speak about my own stuff that I get into, but there are certain things you and I really connect on. There's certain things that are very, very passionate to both of us that we both get very, very, I hate using the word triggered, let's say activated by, because they're very personal to
Activated.
us
Yeah.
and they're very sensitive to us, and everyone has it. Everyone
Yeah.
has that one thing in their own life, whether it's something about health or world politics or whatever it is, that is going to always just be something that, like, no, I stick my sword in the ground about it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And we're always going to, you can't really apologize for feeling a certain way. And that's it. And everyone feels a certain way about it. They feel a certain way. We feel a certain way. And that's why we're all so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Right. But you're adorable.
Oh,
You're my bestie. If only you liked women, and if I wasn't married, then we would be so amazing together. I could be your older wife.
If only you were a triplet of mine.
If only my name was Charity.
Well, those are the triplets named Charity, Faith, and Hope.
What the fuck? Shit, what, they're religious?
I don't know why they were named Charity, Faith, and Hope. But then Blake Lively, obviously, her character changes her name and has all these different identities, so she's not Hope anymore.
Oh, she has multiple personalities now?
Mhm.
Very similar to to real life. Okay, finally,
Dak.
Zach.
Molly says that our combo name is Dak or Zana. Are we
Dak
Dak or
sounds
Zana?
too close to DICK.
Dick. Zana.
Oh,
Ooh,
Molly will be the triplet.
oh.
Molly can be the triplet. Molly, Donna, and Zach. We kind of sound cute. MDZ. Molly, Donna, and Zach. Donna, Molly, and Zach. Okay,
Or
but you know what? My
ZDM.
mom messed up my name, so we'll have to come up with MDZ. It sounds like like a drug. But like Ryan Reynolds will take us because he loves talking about drugs. All right, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here, Zachy Poo. You are my shining star. I hope you have a phenomenal Friday, everyone. Shabbat shalom.
Oh, it is Friday. Shabbat shalom. Why am I sucking dick on your show right now?
Whoa. What? What'd you just do?
I was doing this. I was like,
I thought you were
and
doing
then-
sit-ups. That's how my mind goes. Why did
Well, no,
that
I was
become
just
that?
I was just jerking my neck. I wasn't moving my whole body.
Excuse me. Whoa, oh, can you imagine it?
Imagine it.
Whoa.
Oh,
Okay, hearts.
oh.
Hearts. I love you. You guys have a great
Goodbye.
Friday.
Goodbye.
Bye, you guys.
Wow.
I'll text you later. I love you. Bye, guys.
Bye.